Hello everybody, this is Joel Marshall and this is LearnMyComputer.com, and today we are going to just talk about something called application focus. And what is that? That is just switching between applications and knowing when you are in what application. So it used to be with computers you didn't have too much opportunity to keep several applications open all at one time because it would slow your computer down quite a bit. But with processors getting faster and memory getting better with computers, now we are able to keep many applications open at one time, and we need to be able to manage that. So we are going to just switch between applications and practice that right now. So right now, when we're just looking at the desktop and nothing else, we are in the Finder application. So if I just click in a blank place on the desktop, I am in the Finder application, meaning that application that shows us the files that are on our computer. And we've talked about this many times, but if I go up here to the Finder name here, it's to the right of the apple, and that tells me what application is currently open and what application currently has focus. And that's the word of the day, focus, because the Finder right now has focus, meaning that it's in the foreground and it's the application that we're using. When an application has focus, you will see its menu items to the right of it. And those are these words here. They're called the menu. And usually, if not always, the menu starts with the word file. And that is where you will handle the files. As we've been talking about so much, this is where you will open files, this is where you will close files, this is where you will do anything related to files, is on that first menu item. The next one is called Edit, and this is also a very common menu item. Although menus are all different between applications, they tend to have similar menu items in common so that you can use the application more easily. You don't have to learn a million different menu items. There are some general ones that are almost always there, and Edit is another one that's almost always there, and that's when you want to edit something in the file that you're working with. Another really common one is View, and there are some different view options there. We talked about views in the Finder, the icon view, the list view, the column view, just different ways to view the files. Another really common one is Window. We'll talk about that later. And then Help. That's where you can get some help if you don't know what you're doing. Or you can go to LearnMyComputer.com as you have done now. So anyway, we're going to now open another application. And we're going to open the application that we opened last week, and that is called Preview. And I'm going to go down to the dock. We talked about this last week. The dock is like the little shelf that holds icons for different applications. They're actually what we call shortcuts or aliases in Apple language, meaning it's just a little icon that we click to get to the application. Now I just left-clicked on Preview, and you see there is a little dot, little light underneath the icon, so we know it's open. And I'm going to go back up to the left-hand corner, upper left-hand corner of my screen, and I see, yes, certainly, right next to the apple here, to the right of it, it now says Preview. And the menu items are similar, but they are different. Now there's one that says Bookmarks. That's a different one. So these menu items are all clickable, and they have what's called a drop-down menu, where you click once on the item and it shows you different things that you can do, and you can left-click on these different items to do different functions. And we're going to talk a lot more about that kind of stuff. But right now I want to just show you the difference between the application with focus and the application that doesn't have focus. And you can switch between applications. So I've got this application called Preview, and I'm going to go down to Joel's folder, our favorite folder. I'm going to double click on that folder, and we're going to go to that famous Man on Fire file, and I'm going to double click on it, and it's going to open in Preview. So now I have Man on Fire, and Preview is what? The application with focus. Preview has focus. Okay? And now if I've got technically two applications open. I've got Preview, and then I've got Finder. And if you see, the Finder window is still open, but see how it's behind Man on Fire? Man on Fire is open in Preview, and I'm moving it around here. But the Finder window is open behind it. So that's important to know. There's not just right, left, up, and down on our computer screen. There is also a depth that is going on here. And right now, Preview is in the forefront while Finder is in the back. Now, if I'm going to click on the Finder window, that will now become the application of focus. And you'll see up in the left-hand corner, it now says Finder up in the left-hand corner. And I can move this window around so that I can see the other window, but you see the Man on Fire is now a little grayer. All the items up here are a little grayer because it's not on focus. It's not the focus. I'm going to click on it, and now it is the focus. And now just to make it a little more complicated, I'm going to now open Safari. I'm going to go down to the icon. I'm going to click once on it. And now there's a Safari window with Google and familiar Google. And now that has focus. But I can switch back to, just by moving the window by the top bar there and finding another window below it, and click on Man on Fire. That now has focus. And now Finder has focus. And every time I do this, you'll notice that the menu items change. And the title of the application changes on the top bar. That's really all I want you to know right now. Is I can switch between applications by clicking on the different windows, or I can go down to the dock here and I can click on the Safari, and the Safari will have focus. I click on Preview, and Preview will have focus. Or I go all the way over here to Finder and I click on Finder, and it has focus. So that's pretty much what I want you to know. A lot of times people, when I'm working with them, they say, I have them open a window and they say, well, should I close this one, this other one that we're working in? No, generally you don't have to worry about that unless you have a lot of applications open, and then it can slow down your computer and you might want to close a certain program. And we're going to end this tutorial by just closing the applications, and we can close them by just going to their name. So Preview, I click on that, I get the menu item at the very bottom. It says Quit Preview. Now Preview is closed. Finder I'm going to leave open because that's something that's always open. I can close the window though, and then Safari, I'm going to click on Safari and go down and choose Quit Safari. And that is the lesson for today. If you have any questions, please email me at joel@learnmycomputer.com. I'm Joel Marshall, and I thank you for subscribing to learnmycomputer.com. Please tell your friends about it. If you have any questions, please email me at joel@learnmycomputer.com, and I will see you next week.